Greetings and salutations, my great friends. Today is part 3 of exploring the idea of what am I here for? To summarize so far, we talked about being the best version of yourself. And then in video 2, we talked about what that means physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. And then kind of in the end, tied it into the old airplane safety rules, that those things are your oxygen mask because you're here to serve and serve powerfully, which I promise is the happiest thing in the world. So today is part 3. I know when I sit down with a coaching client, be it an individual or a business, I need to know where they're wanting to go to be able to effectively coach them. I also know that if we're willing to correct our minds, that everything will fall into place. So then I ask people to do this. I ask them to write their own eulogy. I ask them to write their own eulogy. Because we are all going to die. And that's the end. So I know as a speechwriter, as a coach, that if you begin with the end in mind, the rest is easy. For example, I'm not a fan of football. I don't know why people cheer on people developing brain injuries, but that's a whole other thing. Every team begins either wanting to win the national title or the Super Bowl, and everything else leads up to that. The same rules apply to your life. So here's mine. Jonathan Dunn went to be with his one true Father after an epic journey on earth where day in and day out he lived his life's mission with passion and purpose. Jonathan had this crazy cool commitment to leave everyone he met better off, and he executed that plan with excellence and one heck of a funny laugh. You knew when you were with Jonathan in a room that you were the most important person in the world. He knew that when he came into this world, he was crying and everyone else was smiling. When his beloved daughter Kaylee gave him the birthday card in 2008, calling him the world's greatest dad, he knew he had received his wake-up call. He made the decision that day to become the world's greatest dad for Kaylee and Gunnar, while also knowing his mission had been sent. He led his life where at the end, he was smiling and everyone else was crying. Mission accomplished. Jonathan is smiling down on all of us today because he loved everyone, not just small segments of people who happen to agree with him. He doesn't want you to be sad as he received the ultimate promotion he had been seeking all along. Jonathan is home. Jonathan had always hoped to receive both a hug and a high five from Jesus when he stepped through the pearly gates. I'm sure he got it. He is also smiling down because his life's mission was to become all God had created him to be, the best version of himself. Jonathan believed that God wanted him to be loving, kind, peaceful, graceful, patient, connected, authentic, humble, accepting, and his favorite word that you'll learn in a future video, genshai. Well played, Jonathan. Well played. Enjoy the hug. Enjoy the high five. We love you and miss you. All of our lives have been greatly impacted for having known you. You showed us the path, Jonathan, and you led the way. God bless you, my greatest friend. That's my eulogy. That's my life plan. Those 10 words are what I believe God wanted me to be all along and put inside me as a possibility. And now, every day, All I have to do is act as if this is true. And it is true. And it's that simple. Who you become, who I become, who we become, nothing will ever be more important than that. I've had high-paying jobs, I've had low-paying jobs, and it all pales in comparison to who I chose to become when my daughter wrote me that birthday card. And if you haven't seen that video yet, it's number 1. It was called Wake Up Call. I've literally had thousands of people do this drill. And every one of them, 100%, when they really were willing to look inside of themselves, they gave me the most beautiful answers. But I also want to share with you some answers that I've never heard. I've never heard someone say, when I die, I want to be remembered for having spent 22 hours a week on Facebook. I never had someone say, when I die, I want to be known for having spent 32 hours a week on Instagram searching likes. I want to be known as having watched 8 back-to-back seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I want to be known for having parked myself on the Lazy Boy every Saturday and Sunday and watched 10 hours straight of men developing concussions. I've never seen that. I've never seen someone say, oh, I want to be known as a fall-down drunk. I want to be known as a drug addict. But if you don't know where you're going, you're lost. And you find yourselves in those situations. So write your eulogy and stick to it. Because that's where the real happiness lies. That's your life plan. And one last little bit of advice. However, if you were charged with writing someone's eulogy, go ahead and write it. I know it seems morbid, but death is a great teacher. And go out and tell the people how you feel about them right now. My mom knows how I feel about him. My dad knows how I feel about him. My sister knows how I feel about her. My kids know how I feel about him. I'm not waiting till it's too late. No regret.
Don't disappoint your highest self. Operate each day from the perspective of love. You won't be disappointed. Please hit like and subscribe.